Well, Mike, thank you for coming out and letting us get to open up your mind and see what's going on in your life as an entrepreneur. Tell me a little bit about your business and how you got started.
Okay. Well, I've been helping customers buy electricity for 25 years. I started working for a consulting firm right out of college in Austin, and they specialized in helping customers buy natural gas and understand the opening up of the gas markets in the late 80s and early 90s. And when I arrived, we started working with customers on the electricity side, helping them negotiate electricity contracts even before electricity deregulation occurred in states like Texas. And ever since deregulation, we've been specialized in helping customers procure energy, electricity, and natural gas. And opened my own firm in 2003. Sold my first company and have now started another company. We're still focused on very large customers like the University of Houston or Parkland Hospital. And we're also serving all the way down to the residential level now, where we have a different division of our company that serves small commercial and residential customers and helps raise money for local charities.
Okay. Now, you've been in business a long time, it sounds like. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing procurement for 25 years.
Wow. And then how long have you had the business that you're in now?
The business that I'm in now since 2014, so about 4 years.
Okay. Wow. So you've been doing this for, multiple two generations at least. What are the differences between how business was done back then and now you got like more millennials on the scene? Like have you seen any changes? What's the difference?
Certainly a lot of changes in the market, in how we procure power and the deals that are available, and we're starting to move more online, whereas before we used to be very much, here's a paper contract and let's go back and forth and get that signed. Now all of our contracting is done online through our website, and we're communicating to our customers more, obviously, through email and some on social media as well, as we try to get our customers more excited about what they're contributing to, especially on the small commercial and residential side of our business, which is really the kind of the side of the business that we expect to grow into the future.
Okay. How did you get started as an entrepreneur? How did you even think that you might be interested in being your own boss?
Goodness. Well, my mom would probably say that's because I like to do things my way. For me, it was a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer. I was working for a company a multinational company out of Houston that I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life, and we just bought a really big house, and I really felt like the Lord was putting it on my heart to go out and start my own company. And about that, I was praying that the Lord would open doors and close them. And about that time, one of my former customers, where I'd been working before, came to me and said, "Hey, we're going to get a new consultant, and it's either going to be you or it's going to be somebody else." And they gave me 30 days to make up my mind. I was like, well, that's a pretty open door, and I'm going to have to walk through it. So
nice.
I had to walk away
great.
from a $30,000 bonus and a lot of security to start our own company. And it's one of the best times of our lives. My wife and our faith really grew, and we grew together. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm sure your gray hairs grew too.
A little bit. Or they fell out, one or the other. I don't know.
How did she take that whenever you were like, honey?
Yeah, honey, we're more in debt than we've ever been with this big house. But now, we may end up in a mobile home in a couple months. But hey, we both decided that if that's
what we're doing.
That's right. It was right around Christmas, which made it even better. And we just both decided that God was in control, and we both felt led to go that way. And if we ended up wherever we ended up, in a little apartment or whatever, then that's where God wanted us, and that's where we'd be. But we've always been provided for.
Wow, I love that. And I love that you have that support in her. I'm sure it probably didn't go over as smooth like we said, but
there have been bumps.
Okay.
But we're still married.
Luckily.
There you go.
What kind of bumps, or not bumps, but what kind of advice can you give? I mean, obviously you could probably give quite a bit of advice with that, with the bravery that you guys took leaving your job, but what kind of advice would you give to a budding entrepreneur that's, scared to make the leap, or, anything of that nature?
Goodness. Pray a lot. That's primary. Certainly know what you're trying to do and why. You want to know what your mission is, and you want to stay as best you can on mission. When you're an entrepreneur, you end up doing everything in the office is now your responsibility when you first start out. So it's hard to not get distracted. But and I still struggle with that to this day, because that's part of an entrepreneur's DNA is a little bit of distraction built in. What else? Watch your pennies. Certainly, try to control your costs as best you can. Try to become profitable as fast as you can.
That part.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people spend money to make money, and they do well at that. But others, sometimes you need to save money to make money as well. So that's something that I think gets forgotten. I think that's probably about it.
So I was going to ask you where you saw your business in the next 5 or 10 years, but I feel like you've kind of gone through a period where you need to set those goals and then, make your marks. So can you maybe shed some light on what you do to stay focused on your goals once you set 5-year, 10-year, 15-year goals and how you go about achieving those for your company?
Yeah, we haven't set any 10-year or 15-year goals, but certainly our 3 to 5 year goals are to be serving 100,000 customers in the state of Texas. We're nowhere near that right now, but we're growing at almost 1% per day. So we're hopeful that if that growth rate continues or increases as we increase our marketing or actually start doing marketing, everything right now has been by word of mouth with our customer base. So it's been a real blessing to see that grow. But as we start to market, we hope to ramp that growth rate up and get to that 100,000 mark. And by then, should be giving away about $300,000 a month to charities around the state of Texas, and also, having the ability to employ some great folks and serve a lot of good customers. Our goal with doing that is to, be going out to the market as a group, a 100,000 person buying group, to buy electricity in the market. So really, it would change how the industry does business.
Nice.
So we're hopeful to do that.
Well, I'm excited that you came here and I got a chance to interview you. It sounds like you really do have a lot to add to the entrepreneur space. Are you involved in any other organizations? I know you like to give back. You're service oriented. What else are you doing?
Right. I've served on boards. I've been the chairman of the board of a nonprofit out in Parker County that tries to break the cycle of poverty in people's lives, the Parker County Center of Hope. We're involved obviously with several charities. Right now, I'm really focused on the business, so I've kind of cut back on the board type involvement in those things. I've been involved in politics in the Tarrant County area as well. But right now, we're pretty focused on the business and getting my kids through the end of college and transitioning that whole process.
Nice. So from the perspectives that you have set at, do you think there's something that can be added, or taken away from the entrepreneurship scene here in Fort Worth that, budding entrepreneurs might benefit from or not?
I think the eco space for entrepreneurship in Fort Worth is growing. The folks at IdeaWorks that we got to work with while we were there certainly have been a part of that and are going to be a bigger part of that, I think, in the future. I think anything that happens in that space that helps it mature is going to help Fort Worth in the near term and the long term. I think if there was one thing, I would want more opportunities to meet angel investors. Would probably be great, and that's probably about it. Other than there are some regulatory hurdles that we see for entrepreneurs that want to start a business, and the whole building inspection process and some of those things that seem like they could be streamlined. That would be great for not only the business community to be back behind the entrepreneurs, but also to try to help get the government more in line with that goal by simplifying some of their processes and getting out of the way of progress.
Nice. Well, hopefully you can dismantle sometime soon and help with that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, thank you for coming out, Mike. Thank you for giving us your insight on entrepreneurship and business. And I look forward to learning some more stuff from you here in the future.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.